and Ilhan Omar not wanting to answer any questions. Not only that, she's revised how much income she's down to not even $100,000 after claiming to have upwards of $30 million. Do you believe that she's involved in somehow with this scheme?
Oh, she's complicit in a lot of ways. The timing is going to be when we're going to be able to prove it. But I can tell you this. I got involved in politics 6 years ago when she got in. I couldn't believe the rhetoric from this person. This country saved her and her family's life. And I just thought, where's the gratitude with that attitude? And it was dangerous to hear that from a federal elected official. And so I'm not surprised by where she is now. She said, and these are her own words, she's Somali first. She represents Somalia more than she does the United States of America.
Well, that is interesting because, Michael, she apparently, put out the bill that then loosened all these regulations. And it was after that then that people who, by and large, if not exclusively, lived in her district, abused this loophole and then created these fictitious programs, including Feeding Our Future. She even was in one of the restaurants of a person who is involved in this, one of the people who's already been convicted, one of the largest people involved in it. Right. And she was there speaking on Somali TV of Minnesota. It's kind of an odd thing to even think they have. But Somali TV of Minnesota directly thanking the restaurant. The owner is this convicted co-sponsor, a donor to Ilhan Omar. And she said that, you're feeding all these days. Every day you give out 2,300 family and kids meals. At one point, they were claiming upwards of 5,000 meals a day. How in the world, Michael, did no one call out, hey, where is all this food? Where are the delivery trucks? Where are the kids?
It's actually worse than that. So this person wasn't just a donor. Ilhan, since 2017 and before, has been hosting fundraisers at this restaurant. So she had this friend who owned this restaurant in this really tight-knit Somali community. And then she passed a bill, and the most prolific abuser of this program was her friend in Safari Restaurant, who has donated to her and let her host events at their restaurant. And then she films a video taking part in the fraud, putting food into containers when there's no children available. You see nothing in the background. It is obvious to everybody in Minnesota who has any intellectual honesty that this is totally a sham and that Ilhan was complicit.
Then why do Minnesotans keep on electing her and electing people who turn a blind eye even when their own investigators tell them there's fraud going on? Why?
The sad reality is I did put a qualifier on there. I said anybody with intellectual honesty. The Democrats in Minnesota have none of it.
Kendall, I mean, it's baffling. I mean, the Somali community is small, but and a lot of this fraud was happening within a couple miles of her office. And there were whistleblowers. Clearly, they were silenced. But I mean, in 2020, though, Omar introduced this Maintaining Essential Access to Lunch for Students Act. This granted waivers allowing non-school-based distributors to participate in the program and claim compensation for the cost of those meals, supposedly served, but they weren't served. You got Rep. Kristen Robbins. She said that it was in support of the program that actually led to the fraud. Watch this.
The Meals Act really is what loosen the guardrails on the whole federal nutrition program that led to the scandal we have seen that we now call Feeding Our Future, but was actually much broader than that.
So that was her comment there. She believes that this was the tipping point. Do you agree with that? Or was this going back even further?
First of all, this has been going back even further. We have an issue that people, I'll say the quiet part out loud. We have a problem with the Somali community in Minnesota and this idea of assimilating into American culture. Now, this is the problem. They represent less than 2% of the Minnesota population, but 90% of the fraud that we have documented so far. This is an issue what the Democrat Party's done. They've told the Somali refugees that you can come here, take advantage of the benefits here, the generosity of our country, but you don't have to be a part of American culture. Well, that's wrong. Look at this as a football analogy. We've been winning Super Bowls for 250 years. We have one jersey. It's red, white, and blue. We have one rule book for this game called the U.S. Constitution. You adopt our culture, our systems, our language. We're not adopting to yours.
Bye.